everyone, this is a quick review of how to use completing the square to produce a vertex form for a quadratic. Now, just to remind you, standard form for a quadratic is ax squared plus bx plus c. Vertex form, you may or may not have this a number here, but it's x minus h squared plus k, and the vertex is hk. Notice the sign on the h changed. Okay, now some books may call this standard form, and they might not have a name for this. Some books don't have a name for this. So some books will use different notation, but this is what my Algebra 2 book uses, so this is what I like. I like that it describes what this is, what's in it. I like that it gives this a name. Okay, so this is what I like to use. Now, step 1, you're going to group the x terms. That means take these x's and put parentheses around it. Step 2, if there is a number in front of your x squared, you do need to factor it out of those parentheses. Then you're going to take the b number, divide it by 2, and square it, and you add it inside the parentheses, and you subtract it outside, and then you factor and simplify. So let me show you how all of that's going to work. Let's start with this one. So I'm going to group my x terms like this. Now, there is no a number in front of my x squared, so I can skip step 2 and move on to step 3. b is 6, so I'm going to add 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So add 3 squared inside the parentheses and subtract 3 squared outside the parentheses. Then I'm going to factor this part, and I'm going to simplify this part. So to factor this, you keep one thing from each term. Here you keep the square root, which is basically just this variable, x. The middle term you keep the sign. The last term you keep the 3. Okay, and then the whole thing is squared. This is a perfect square trinomial. Okay, it is a special pattern that we learn in Algebra 2. Then I do positive 10 minus 9, which is positive 1. So this is the vertex form of my quadratic. Now I'll show you another example. This time there's going to be an a number. So again, I'm going to group these terms, but I'm going to factor the 2 out from this. So it's the GCF is going to be 2. So I divide each term by 2. And even if it doesn't go evenly here, you still have to divide it by that leading coefficient there. Okay, so this is what I have now that I've factored. Now, I have to do 4 divided by 2, which is 2, squared. Now, here's the hard part. I have 2 squared in here. It has to be multiplied by this 2 here, and then I'm allowed to subtract it out here. So it's minus 2 squared times 2. Okay, now I can factor and simplify. I'm going to factor this inside part. So I keep the 2, and then it's parentheses x, keep the plus sign, keep the 2, and it's squared. And now I have negative 5 minus 2 times 2. 2 squared is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. So negative 5 minus 8, which is negative 13. So this is my vertex form for my quadratic there. Okay? So I hope this helped you remember how to do this. Let me know if you have any questions.